Shut up and sit down.
I'm already recording. You're burning tape here.
You know what?
Because
this is exactly the shit that annoys me.
We record on cassette tapes.
Look, that is exactly the kind of shit that annoys me. Here I am. I'm comfortable. I'm in my own little zone, and then someone just has to fucking come along. It's like, oh, I see you're doing all right there. Let's just fuck that up.
Well, you know what? You brought this one on yourself because nobody told you to turn that son of a bitch back on. Because we're in between recordings and you turned it on while I was in the bathroom, and that's your own fault because you bought yourself that ticket. And being closer to that fucking piece of machinery means that you're going to be the one to get told to turn it off.
I could have just refused and made the quality of this just absolute hell.
Well, it may have been more entertaining because now we got to go in the intro. Welcome everyone to
Suds and Buds.
Pick up that can because Bob and I decided this is how we're going to start every episode. All right, clean things. The show where we what? I don't know if I came up with a tagline. I did decide that we would talk about what we're drinking though, and this episode we're drinking Keystone Light because I'm bad at making cheap beer decisions.
Keystone Light, when you know you're poor, but you need a beer.
Yeah. Well, no, because you could just buy Honey Brown. It's cheaper
and better.
It gives you way more of a headache. Like it doesn't have that shit that prevents like hangovers and shit. And so the next morning, if you drank
common sense,
if you drank two of the you can drink 2 tall boys of Budweiser. Wake up tomorrow just fine. You drink 2 of these, not like 2 Honey Browns, and not even get drunk. You're waking up with a headache. I've done it. I've done the field testing.
Maybe you're just allergic to honey or
I don't like
brown.
Look, I don't know how it all works, but I'm pretty sure that they put shit in better beers
not an ingredient.
That helps.
Okay,
so you're telling me right now that you know for a fucking fact that that's true.
Okay, you want to know what beer is made out of?
I know what it's made out of. The barley and the hops and the yeast and the whatnot and the shit. But
you're gonna add extra shit into beer.
You're gonna sit there,
not give you a hangover.
Owning a fireworks stand and tell me that you know this for a fact of beer.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're gonna revisit this eventually, and I'm gonna come in with some knowledge. I'm gonna become a master of beer brewing. Never use it to actually brew beer, but only to slam you on this podcast if I can.
If you find out that Keystone Ice or Budweiser, those are the two.
those are the only two I get to look into.
Those are the 2 competitors to Honey Brown right now. If either of these 2 beers have an ingredient in them that is proven to help prevent hangovers,
have you ever noticed that
Honey Brown does not have?
Have you ever noticed that though? Because I can drink a name brand whiskey to the end of the day, like a fucking Jack Daniels. I can drink that all night. But if I drink like what's a cheap whiskey? Kessler. Sure. Yeah, if I drink a Kessler, I could have like 3 drinks. It's going to kill me the next day, man. You've never noticed that.
You know what that is? We're getting old, Vinny.
No, sure, yeah, but like just because you're getting old is it going to make one brand less effective in killing you than the other brand? There's got to be some sort of ingredient there.
No.
There's got to be some sort of chemical makeup.
It's the distilling process. It's the refining process in all of this.
Okay,
it's not
fine. Okay, it's not an ingredient. It's the way they make it. But still, that puts a distinct difference between cheap and name brand. That, like, gives you a hangover.
But it's not always... Okay, Kessler is not always going to give you a hangover off of one drink. Honey Brown is not always going to give you a hangover.
Every time I've drank Honey Brown.
But see, that could just be you. That could just be how your body reacts to Honey Brown. Just like my body can't react to tequila. Because like it refuses to react.
I'm a special snowflake.
Like,
I don't know how I turned it into that.
I don't know.
No, I get that though. Like, I can't drink. Like, yeah, I guess everyone's different like that. Because tequila, fuck no. Tequila, I get messed up. I become a real asshole.
I can't drink tequila.
I think, not Patron, but what's the green shit Bob keeps having us drink? Absinthe. I think absinthe is the same way. Bob said he didn't notice it, but the last time I was out at Bob's, like, we were drinking beer, we were all just fine, but I started drinking that absinthe, and I felt like I had an attitude about me.
You did.
And because it's that moment where we all started playing our own music, and I was playing my music, and it seemed like everyone around our age was digging it, but there were a lot of people younger than us there too, and they wanted
like the club.
They took over it, and I was hating their music, so I started like I would get the song right to the right place, and then as soon as I wanted to, I would hit everybody, yeah, fucking Backstreet's Back and all that shit, yeah. Anyways, that's not what we wanted to talk about this episode.
I think that's just what it kind of turned into.
What we wanted to talk about was how people annoy us, and people like,
oh my god,
yeah.
I don't know if we have enough time to talk about.
You know what annoys me? You know what annoys me is people don't fucking pay attention. Okay, like, I mean,
dude,
and I know I'm a little different in this. I try to pay attention to as much as I can, but my brain designates what's important to me, and I have so little patience for things I deem unimportant to the extent that I will forget your name moments after you told it to me if I have sat there and thought, because my brain will think entirely about the short interaction I've had with someone and whether I intend to have other interactions, and if I don't, I just forget that name. They're not important to me.
That's like
so when I have an interaction with someone that I have already deemed unimportant to my life, and I have to keep going back to them and telling them shit they should already know, which is very basic, like basic math. Because there's a thing called balances that exist in my world, and I'm not talking metaphorically. I'm talking like there is a piece in my day-to-day work called a balance, and we have to build double-digit ones sometimes with a smaller 8 piece, and then whatever other piece numbered that we need to make like a 12 or a 13. And when I got a guy coming to me who already knows about the small 8 piece saying, I don't know how to make a 12. Well, what's 8 plus 4? Oh, is it 12? Okay, then put an 8 with a 4, little buddy. There you go. Do you need a cookie? You want a pat on your head? Oh, you're fucking adorable. You and your fucking 3rd grade ass. I hate it. I hate it when people don't pay enough attention to what the fuck's going on around them. Or they get distracted by, like you're at work. Don't fucking have a goddamn casual conversation. And if you want to get out of one, here's what you say. I'm done with this conversation. I do it all the time. I'm like, I gotta go do this. Or, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I will literally just drop, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm done. Anytime anyone brings up The Last Jedi, I tell them I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about The Last Jedi. That is my way out of that conversation.
Hey, Vinny, you want to talk about The Last Jedi?
No, absolutely not. Done. The movie happened. Deal with it on your own fucking terms. I'm not here to help you out. What about you? Like, what really gets you?
Dude, there are so many times where I wish that I was the only person in existence that knew how to turn the volume on their phone off.
Yeah, that might help. That's a very important text, though. I just found out that I'm on first shift 2 days after everyone else was told what shift they were going to be on because they're instituting shifts at my job.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
We'll see if this lasts more than a week.
So, there are times where I'm like, God, I wish I were the only person with a car in this world. Like, there are so many times I have seen near misses because of stupidity, or someone starts to come into my lane, and I scare the people that I'm with because I don't move. I don't give them the space to start coming over. I'll lay on my horn, or I will do something, and then I'm the person who then becomes, okay, well, you did that, so let's see if you like it, and just kind of start inching closer to them without actually crossing the line. There have been times where I have the green light, so I'm going to start going. Oh, look at that truck that's about a football field away. He's not slowing down. I should probably wait. And here he goes through his red light, and now I'm going through a yellow light. Or stop sign. 3 people show up. I'm the second one. So this person goes. Everyone's turning. I have the right of way. Nope, that guy's going to go ahead and go. Like, so many times. Or what kills me is, okay, at our apartments, no matter which way you go, you are turning left at a red light. Now, you can legally turn left onto a one-way from a one-way.
Right.
But the street that you're on at the red light is not a one-way street. Mm-hmm. You are turning onto a one-way, but you are not on a one-way. And everyone turns on red at that light. It doesn't affect me in any way. Like, yesterday, there was a guy in front of me. Now, keep in mind, okay, we're on the one-way. Yeah. And he turns left towards the apartments, like going towards that park. There's no, like, the light's red, yeah, nothing's coming, but there's no logical reason for you to think that you can turn when the light's red. And it eats me up to the point to where I scream at people now.
Oh, yeah.
If my window's down, I will scream at them.
The car's a good place for that. The car is actually a great place to unleash pent-up anger.
I roll my window down and scream at the people that have their windows down.
Even so, it's just a good place to do it. Because you know what? That guy's got shit going on. They're not going to follow you. They're not going to turn all the way back around to fucking come deal with you. They're going to get hot. You may have just ruined a part of that person's day, but you're not going to have to pay for it.
But driving is it is a privilege that we have. You have to earn it by going and taking the test and everything else. And then elderly people driving. Oh my god.
So basically you have every problem with driving that any stand-up comic has pointed out since the 90s.
And I have...
Maybe the 80s.
I have unbelievable road rage.
Lots of people do.
Well,
I for sure do when shit gets too... Especially if my kids are in the car. And that's the worst thing. Is because... I'll get my worst road rage when the kids are in the car.
Because people are putting your kids in danger.
But it's because the kids are in the car. So you get the catch-22 of, like, I shouldn't be exploding like this in front of my children. But I'm exploding like this because these assholes just put my kids in danger. My kids will never understand that until they start driving with kids in their car. But, yeah, I get that.
When we were younger... I was one of the stupidest drivers out there. I know I was. Like, there was just one point between Sciotoville and Minford. I decided to see how fast my car could go on this straight stretch.
I was never that guy.
The speed governor kicked in. By the way, when a speed governor kicks in on your car, you can't accelerate anymore until you get back down to a certain speed. And that's usually half of your max speed. Just so you know.
I'm the kind of guy... who at that time would have thrown a can of pears into the ether just to see what happened. Or that one time that we were driving around, we threw a can of tuna into a frozen over car windshield just to see if it would break. That's the kind of guy I was at that time. But I always respected the road. Because I'm in a fucking 2,000-pound potential death machine for myself, my passengers, or the other person. And I was always aware that, like, when my hands are on that wheel, I'm controlling lives.
Well, and
and so I never fucked with that. Except for one time when I was in a Dodge Charger. But I was in a Dodge fucking Charger. Maybe the only time I ever get to drive a car that nice, I'm gonna open her up.
Well, I always tried to be respectful, but I've always been an aggressive driver.
Yeah.
I have since become a bit more defensive, but I'm still a pretty aggressive driver. I'm going to get over wherever I can get over.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that was always explained to me, driving a car is like having a loaded gun in your hand. If you're not careful, you can either kill yourself or kill someone else.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, I didn't hesitate to.
But at the same time,
shit.
You were a fucking idiot.
I was a teenager.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant by fucking idiot.
Yeah. I mean, they're synonymous with each other.
Right. Not that there aren't like smart, together teenagers out there. They're just like out of a class of 45. Probably 3 or 4 of them got their shit together, and the rest of them are just like aimlessly firing into the air with these guns they call dicks and vaginas.
Controlling and that's why Teen Mom became a show.
Oh, God, don't remind me of that. You know what annoys me about people when they're on a show called Teen Mom?
Everything?
No, you know what really annoys me is when fucking people don't respect that you have your own damn life. Like we live in this oversaturated culture of content, really, and we're fucking dying in it. I know I'm buried under content, and it's overwhelming. I'm really trying to figure that out to make it work for me. Mm-hmm. And really, I'm honestly about to the point where I'm going to put TV shows and movies behind comic books. Because I'd rather be reading my comics.
You might have to do that for a little while.
Yeah, but just like people in general who are like, okay, and especially when you're in a relationship, and like I have not had to experience this for a while, but like you spend so much time around this person, they understand that you have to work. Sometimes barely understand the idea that you have to work. Like they understand the premise, but they still act like you should have been there for an extra 10 hours that day.
They understand that you're gone.
Yeah.
But they seem to forget that you're gone and doing something the entire time you're gone.
And then when you are there, your time is divided between them and whatever else is going on in your life. Because everyone needs a hobby. Everyone needs something to do. Yeah. And shit. Like, you know, break up the monotony. And you spend your time doing this and that. Especially when you've got kids. Like, you spend an exorbitant... whatever that word is, exorbitant amount of time with your children and stuff, because really when you're in a family life, that is the important thing, is how, like, what's going on with the children, because guess what, you're supposed to be with your significant other for the rest of your fucking life. The kids are only there for like 20 years and then they're supposed to go off and do their own thing. You should really be focusing on them more than on yourself, because that's temporary. Right. Like, you only get so much time with your kids. And then when you do have something for yourself, and it only takes like an hour, maybe 2, maybe 3 hours of your time out of the week, that's not a lot to ask for. No. What annoys me is people who don't understand how real life fucking works. And that there are all these crazy elements, and that you really have to. You cannot get away without stepping back, looking at them all, and putting them in place where they go. And that's just being an adult. That's not being obsessive compulsive like I am. And that's why it comes easier. I'm going to go out on the record and saying it comes easier to me than it does most people, because that's what I fucking do. I step back and I piece shit together.
You prioritize.
Yeah, I prioritize.
And everyone should be able to take a step back and make sure that their priorities in life are in order.
And that's what I'm saying, is it's easier for me because of that, but it is a thing all adults should have to and should be able to do. Yeah. Is to step back from your own bullshit, prioritize your life, get it done, and then live your life that way.
Fucking men.
Adults annoy me. people annoy me in general. I guess that's my overarching thing in this whole episode is that people in general fucking annoy me.
Humans are terrible. Just flat out.
Yep.
Humans are awful.
And I know I'm not good. I know I'm not like above the fray on this whole thing because I know I can be overbearing. I know I can be annoying. I know I've annoyed you guys so much just with the treatment of this podcast and shit.
That's why we just, don't show up from time to time.
Sometimes people just don't show up. Yeah. So there's that. I think that's going to do it for that. Well, like, there's so many more examples we can go into, but we try and keep these down in time and shit. So I think that's gonna do it. Guys, we're on the things, the Facebook, Subject to Change Entertainment on Facebook. We got a nerd news page there too called Sorta My Comics. I'm just doing this off the fucking cuff. I'm not going by a script with this one.
We got YouTubes.
Yeah, we're Subject to Change Entertainment on the YouTubes, on the SoundClouds. Like, subscribe, comment. What annoys you guys? What the fuck pisses you off? What do people in your day-to-day life do that annoys the shit out of you?
Let us know in the comments down below.
Didn't even mean to rhyme there. Also, in the description below, you can find all our social media and shit, so you can see us bitch about this shit on the fly. I'm not on Facebook anymore. We could have done an episode about that. But my name is Vincent Urban, Been the Human.
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
We don't do the cue the music thing on this. What do we do? Let's clink the glasses again. That'll be it. Alright.
We should probably actually get something to clink just for this.
Whatever.
Or
well, you can hear it.